What's up, guys? It's time for another chapter review of My Hero Academia. You got me, David the Smash Fan.
We got me, Poro-chan, Japorian, whatever you may call it. I like Japorian better.
I like Poro-chan.
Nah, I like it. We'll decide later on. But one of those, just call me whatever. I don't care. Let's go ahead and get started because this is the thing that's the most important at the moment. We need to figure out. Well, we don't need to figure out. We need to discuss what we found out.
Yeah, so there's a lot happening in this chapter. It's chapter 290 of My Hero Academia. Again, if you haven't read this, go read it and then watch this video because there's huge revelations that happen in this chapter, and it just confirms a lot of stuff that we've thought about. But let's start off with the first thing that it reveals to us, and that is that Bakugo is actually alive. Like, that's a big thing.
Yes,
right?
Yes, that's when I read that. I was like, yes, my boy is back. We don't know to what extent and how, I don't know what kind of side effects people have after, but he's alive.
Yeah, he, like others, like, we need a complete victory, which it doesn't look like they're gonna get, because at that moment I think it was All For One was telling Shigaraki that they need to tell Gigantomachia to go ahead and retreat. So at this point, they know that they've lost. Because Shigaraki is like, he's not able to regenerate as fast. He's lost control, and so it makes sense that they're going to retreat. But they need Gigantomachia in order to do that. But before they get to that point, we have Todoroki and Nejire-chan trying to hit and get to like Shigaraki, and it does nothing. Gigantomachia just goes in there and just stops him, like the beast that he is.
Yeah.
It's crazy how strong he is, and he's just waiting for an order. That's all he really is. Like, he's super strong, but he has loyalty so that he won't act outside of it. So he's just waiting for Shigaraki or for All For One to tell him something. And then before Todoroki and Shoto and Endeavor can do anything, we get a big reveal from Dabi. And what did he tell us? What did Dabi tell us, Poru-chan?
Well, according to the chapter, which is actually, I think the name of the chapter is called Dabi's Dance, so I guess he's trying to perform and trying to show his big scheme of things. Well, he comes to the big reveal that Dabi turns out to be the lost son. Well, I don't know if it were to be lost, but the son of Endeavor, the older brother, Toya.
Mm-hmm.
Which was a big shock. To some people, to some other people can saw it coming. But we expecting when, and it finally did happen.
Well, yeah, because before, like, when I think it was in chapter 191, I think he talks to Endeavor after he beats the gnome, and he says, "We'll talk again," and he calls him by his name, Endry. I think it's Enji or Endry. I can't remember, but he calls him by his first name to Endeavor, and they're like, "How does he know his first name?" Because he also knows tons of other information that we have no idea how.
Yeah.
So that was like a big clue to saying, like, yeah, he's probably Toya before we even knew anything about Toya. And he, like, I guess water can just take out his hair color because he just pours water onto his hair and it becomes I think it's white. I mean, it's in black and white, but I'm assuming it's white, right?
I'm assuming it's white too.
So I don't think it's red.
Yeah. Wait, they did show on the flashbacks. I think he had red color. I don't remember. Let me look it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he used some kind of bleacher. I don't know.
I think he just used some like black ink or something. Because again, if you wash it out with water, it's not that strong. But that's just me. Here's the cool thing though, because if they try to connect everything that's been happening before. So remember when we first get introduced to Hawks. He talks to Dabi saying, like, you weren't supposed to send this Nomu out that's this strong. And he's like, oh, my bad. You know, he go ahead and explain. He's like, yeah, I want to kill you. He's like, but you're like a cockroach. Like, you just won't die. And so he reveals his huge scheme of what he's trying to do to Endeavor, which is basically put his name in dirt. And so in the beginning of the chapter, you see the TV that Shoto's mom's watching, and it like kind of like a gets all fuzzy, and then you see Dabi sitting in like a couch, and Dabi talks about like how Endeavor like just didn't want him because he was a failure, and it basically is going to reveal to the whole world what kind of person Endeavor was. and that his own son is responsible for 30 innocent or 30 murders, and is the one, the Dabi that everyone knows about from the League of Villains. And he's like the past never forgets. And
yeah, that was cool.
So what do you think? Because I think a lot of people already knew how Endeavor was kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. He was a hero, but kind of like Bakugo. Well, I don't know if they ever knew like exactly what he did, right, to get his sons.
Yeah, on the past, I think a lot of people didn't know too much about it. I think that actually was between the family, because you know how Deku finds out in the whole tournament arc.
Yeah.
So I think that's mostly between the family itself, but I think Davi's playing a really smart move, trying to turn the reputation of Endeavor, which might happen and is going to affect him big time, because barely just right now people are starting to trust him a little more. We've seen in the past couple of chapters he's trying to stand up to be #1 hero. But then after this, I don't know how people are going to take it, but of course I think it's going to bite him in the butt for sure.
Because, well, like, his family already knew about it, right? Shoto knew about it. His Natsu, I can't remember the sister's name. They all knew about it, but they never said anything, and they just kind of kept quiet. So the family, it's kind of weird because the family has accepted it, and I mean, Natsu's like the rare kid, like he doesn't want anything to do with him, but like his sister and Shoto are like willing to open up, and it's gonna be interesting what they're gonna do in Endeavor. So here's like where we're gonna go into speculation. Like, what do you think this is actually going to do to Endeavor's career as a hero? Because you kind of talked about it could affect him, but to like what extent? Do you think that they'll just put a blame and he'll go into hiding, or do you think he'll try and not mask it, but like try and do like more good or something? Like, I'm not sure like what you do.
Yeah, we don't truly know what's going to happen, but I think most likely there's going to be a big explanation, because we don't truly know how the Dabi became Dabi. Because according to the past, he died. I mean, I guess, and they were pushing so much that something happened to him, but they don't speak too much about it. So I think I can see in the next upcoming chapters there will be a flashback explaining what happened and how cruel Endeavor was, trying to tarnish his name. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, but at the same time I'm kind of sad that they're gonna. Well, I guess it's important because I would like to see a little bit more about how the main fight is happening. How they're gonna wrap everything around. Because I know it's gonna end soon on that particular part, but I just don't know how they're gonna close ties.
Well, this, I guess, how we talked about how this is the end of this arc is gonna be a game changer. Something's gonna happen. So it could be that this, in and of itself, will make not just Endeavor like lose face, but it might just be like the whole trust in the heroes, because it's like, well, if it wasn't for Endeavor, then we wouldn't have had Dabi, who was a big part of the League of Villains. Like, yeah, he didn't start it, it was Shigaraki who started it, but even then it was like it all went down to One for All. Like I could see them, people like kind of blaming it on the heroes, and that's why like there'd be like a like a stop to it maybe, or that the public will just kind of see them as unnecessary, even though they've protected them. Because there has to be some huge change, some huge paradigm shift in what's happened. Because just having Endeavor be the only one to take the blame doesn't seem like it would be enough of like a hit, enough of a thing to change. So I could think like maybe people are looking into like other people's past. Like all the top 10 be like, what have they done that's incorrect? Or what have they done that's maybe shady? And maybe that's what we'll find out more about. Like they'll what's it called? They'll give us information about Hawks and what he has done. Because Hawks has done pretty shady stuff and has killed people and has done stuff, in order to take down villains. And we don't know to the extent of what he's done.
Yeah, but he was playing undercover though. I think that was. I guess some people can justify that, but yeah, on the Endeavor part, yeah, people don't know, and they just barely starting to trust him. So we'll see how this will, or what the results of this will be after people were to find out. Not to mention that, you saw on the chapter that also Todoroki's mother was also watching this. So I wonder what kind of mentality she's gonna have after watching this as well.
See, we don't know the toll. I don't know why I said toil. The toll it took on the mom, because all we've ever seen is the toll that it took on her when she was, when she was experiencing what was happening with Shoto, because it was at that point that it drove her to insanity, because she looked so much like Endeavor, and so they never really talked about like what about Toya. Like it's never mentioned that his death did anything to affect. I mean, it obviously it did, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think, like I mentioned before, I think the next following chapters they're gonna provide a flashback and see how cruel Endeavor was. I gotta see that, because before his whole redemption, he was a horrible person. Todoroki hated him so much, and that's just from his experience. But if we were to see what Toya is going to say, or Dabi is going to say about this, he has a big resentment. He hates his father and his family so much. So there has to be a particular reason. Well, he doesn't mention that he was trying to shape him into becoming the next Endeavor as well, but maybe there's a little bit more to it that will affect him as well.
I'm wondering if, because I don't honestly think that Shoto or anyone in the family really knows what Endeavor did. Like, yeah, they knew they pushed him, yeah, because all the kids went through it, but I don't think they truly know what he did. And
not to mention he was the first son, so they had, as the first son, he wanted to like push him to become better, and to what extent, we'll definitely get to find out soon.
What would happen if this drives Shoto to like act? Like again, like he's sad for his brother, right? He's sad that his brother has turned out this way. But what if like what is revealed like leads to people basically, or maybe Shoto like killing Endeavor? Like I think that's a huge like way out there, but I could see that possibly happening, like because that resentment comes back, and then it comes like even more because he finds out what he actually did to Toya. Think that could be possible? Like, because I feel like there has to be like someone needs to die. Like as much as I don't want anyone to die, someone has to.
It's gonna happen. I think it has to happen. It did happen on the previous seasons of My Heroes as well. So I think they have to provide a greater tolling here. So I don't know. I mean, now that Baku is not gonna die, which is awesome, maybe you need to predict who's gonna die next.
Dude, what if Shoto joins them? He like goes and kills them, and he's like, "I'm done with this." And
that could happen.
Because I think the other person aside from, I mean, I don't think Bakugo. I mean, they always like played with the idea that he could go either way, but Todoroki is also one that has had that hate in him, and he's softened up now, but like that, I feel that he's just gonna come back tenfold, and it's just gonna consume him, and just be like, "You did this to my brother. You don't deserve to live," type of thing. And he'll just be engulfed in rage and I don't think Endeavor would do anything. He'd be like, "Well, I deserve it," kind of thing, and just
maybe to the point of killing Endeavor.
Yeah,
I can see that happening. I can see him like making like, you know what, I made a mistake. I need to atone for that. So I'll do what I need to do. And that will be a bigger toll on Todoroki as well. It will affect him so much that he probably wants to seek revenge. I mean, I can see that happening, to be honest.
Well, that'd be interesting to have Todoroki just be the one to turn, and then Dabi gets his brother kind of to be on their side.
Yeah. Huh. It's getting exciting, that's for sure. I think the previous chapter was a little bit meh, but I think this chapter it got better. Of course, especially with this big reveal.
Maybe we get the reveal too of who's the snake, who's the traitor. Maybe it was Todoroki all along. I don't see it happening, but like maybe subconsciously or something happened. I don't
know. Yeah. I guess we have to wait and see.
Yep. Oh my gosh, I don't want to wait till next week, but
just watch. It's gonna be Mineta. She's gonna be the traitor.
No, Mineta's gonna be the hero to save us all. He's be the next All Might. All right. Well, that's it for this episode. Yeah, there's so much stuff that we could talk about, but we just have to wait till next week to see where the story is going. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Watch this video, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys think is gonna happen next chapter.
Who's gonna die?
Yeah, who's gonna die? Because someone has to die. Like, I don't want anyone to die, but we got fake outs with Bakugo. We got fake outs with Gran Torino. Endeavor.
But we don't know about Gran Torino though.
Gran Torino, yeah, I mean, but it looks like he's going to survive. It kind of, because he was able at least to speak when he was up in the air. So, but Endeavor's like, he even said his lungs are like, he only has one lung right now, and so he needs to get medical attention. He doesn't have his fire on him. He's just normal, so he has not even enough energy to produce flames. So for him to die makes more sense. If it's gonna be Shoto who does it, that's also gonna be like way interesting. Just I can't wait.
Yeah.
But let us know. So
Go make your Canadian.
yeah, but let us know. So signing off. This is David the Smash Fan.
This is Poro Chan, Japorio, whatever you call it. Peacing out.
And this is Chivino Podcast.